Hey, it's FUTTIES Team 2 day today. We've got a couple of leaks already for that, and Batch 2 will be coming out today as well, which is kind of exciting. As many of you know by now, the gameplay deep dive did come out today for FC25. We're going to talk about that today. I didn't manage to make a video separately about it because, to be honest with you, right when I watched it, I was not very happy. And also, I was like, did I just watch a 5-minute video of marketing nonsense? And that was all. So I wanted to collect my thoughts and then reread through everything. And I was like, okay, well, we are now, I think, like 8 hours later, and I still feel the exact same way. So we're going to talk about that. I've got the 92 plus icon pack to open for today's video. We do have the best of batch 2 today. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. The link is in the description. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. And once again, EA allergic to giving us big SBCs right now. Desiree Scott and Landon Donovan came out, which both look like fine cards, but that's it. And they're one squad. So that's all you get. You get peanuts and crumbs. They drip feed you until August, right? That's their goal right now. So Landon Donovan looks fine, not even that great, debatably, but unfortunately there was a lot of complaints before about the fact that there were no more FUT Champs objectives anymore in terms of that weekly card that would come out, like the Enzo Fernandez. Last week was El Shaarawy, etc. People said they built up an Italy team but ended up not even needing one because it just stopped with the objective. Well, today they came out with this. It's got Basha for just playing 30 matches in any champs game mode. That's it. And I can't click R3 to show you the stats because the technology is just not there apparently. It was there, it just doesn't work anymore, I guess. And now all you got to do is win 5 of the team of the season team, win 5 with a full squad of Festival of Football players, which are very broad requirements, by the way, because do greats at the game icons fit in there? I don't know. There's so many goddamn card types in this game. And then win 10's a new Claudio Marquisio card, and then an 85-5 as well for that. So I like the idea, though. It's actually easier to get this than the other one, I believe. But I'm happy they came out with something. It feels like a lateral move, though. It's not better than the last one. I feel like it's not worse either. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It does seem easier, though, but the card maybe isn't quite as good. Okay, we're going to start with FC24 leaks now, move through all of those, and then we'll get to the gameplay deep dive. If you're curious about that, you can obviously skip to that in the video. But okay, we do only have one real FUTTIES leak right now, but it's actually more than we had last week. We're all gonna like this one. So Graham Hansen and Rolfo have both been added to come during FUTTIES Team 2. It does say a super duo, which people thought, okay, could that be, you know, the duo SBC type stuff? But FIFA Trading Romania said probably not. He can't confirm if there'll be SBCs or not, but he said most likely no. And Weaver FUT says Hansen SBC is still possible, but it's just unlikely, basically. But I love to see cards that were actually very highly used this year. FUTTIES is supposed to be kind of like celebrating past used cards a lot, which there was some of that, I think, with this new team. But, you know, we had cards like Jadon Sancho. When, like, was Sancho's TOTS card super used or something like that? Because his gold card obviously wasn't. So hopefully we continue to see more of the very used cards in this game getting FUTTIES cards. That's what it's kind of all about. But yeah, only 2 FUTTIES player leaks we've got right now. Let's look at the pack leaks now. We've got a couple of leaked packs to look at, which does confirm a best of batch 2 coming out today. And also that new player pick that was the best of batch 1 re-release expires today at content time. So putting 2 and 2 together tells you we're probably getting team 2 today. It's the same type of shit. FUTTIES batch 2 grab bag, historical encore player pick, week 2 duo shit your pants pack, spend money now and then in August. And also there's an 8 common gold players pack and a 7 rare silvers player pack. So I think that new gold upgrade, we have the refresh gold and silver upgrade every few times a year. I think they're going to do that one more time and add in a 7 rare silver pack and an 8 common gold pack, even though the daily gold upgrade right now is repeatable 10 times a day. So like you might as well just grind that out, but that will help grinders out there. If someone's still menu grinding, so I can't really hate on it too much. It's a little bit late, but I don't think we've ever had an 8 common gold player pack repeatable. So I will give them their credit for that, but most of the other stuff, just don't. If you buy FIFA points right now, listen, I never want you to buy them, but if you buy them right now, you're a sick bastard. But okay, now on to FC25. There's a couple of hero slash icon leaks to talk about. Then we'll talk about the gameplay deep dive. So Blaise Matuidi has been leaked to be tested as a hero card, which is a former Juventus fan. That's I love to see that. Matuidi criminally underrated for a long time there, in my opinion. And French fans in the replies were enjoying all of that. So hopefully Matuidi ends up in next year's game. That would be pretty awesome. Like I said, there's probably a 90, maybe 80 to 90% chance they do end up in next year's game. Last year, I want to say it was 15 of 19 ended up in the game that were being tested before. So they have a very, very high chance. 90% would not be very good math, but I guess you know what I'm trying to say. And last up here, we've got Pichon. I don't know who this is or how to say her name, so I probably butchered that, but she's on the way. I looked up how many goals she scored, and she looks like she was quite proficient in scoring. For her club, apparently, she's had 58 appearances and 89 goals. For France, for 12 seasons, she had 81 goals and 112 appearances. So probably going to be a very highly rated striker card. I'll be honest, I've not heard of her prior to that. So that's the other icon we've got as of right now being tested. Okay, here we go. Let's get into now the gameplay deep dive, which I want to say before, or preface it before I even get into this stuff right now, that we do not have the game with us, right? We can only speculate as to how this game is going to be until we actually play it. So keep that in mind here, that if I criticize some of these new features or like I'm not impressed by this or whatever, it's a very important piece that we're missing here. So keep that in mind this whole time when I'm talking about this. So we don't have the game yet. It could come out and it could be fantastic. Am I saying that's likely? No, but I'm saying that it could happen. In theory, it's in the range of outcomes. Okay, now let's get into like a summary here. I've read this through a couple times now. Really, the main feature all of this is sort of predicated on is the tactical revamp, the role changes. There's no more instructions now, no more custom tactics the way that they were before. They're entirely new. This is kind of what that page would look like. You can see here there's without ball and with ball tactics, which I do think that is nice to have now. Pez had that for a while. I do think that's very realistic. Most teams are much different with the ball and without the ball, so I initially like the idea of that change. You have a new player roles now, which this is the one I'm a little bit concerned about actually, because if you can see here, every player has one role plus that they excel at, and they will just play better in that role than other players will. And if they play out of that role, they won't play as good. As you can see here, Vinicius Jr. is inside forward plus plus, right? You kind of see the green on his screen there. That's where he can play, and then also the role that he can play is here. It'll play that role, inside forward plus plus, better than other players will. And while we keep talking about roles, let's go and look at all of the different roles that exist in the whole game on launch. So you've got a false back, attacking wing back, attacking win back, W proofread for the fullbacks, center backs, not really anything interesting there, stopper and ball playing defender. CDM, you've got a holding, center half, and deep lying playmaker now. And these are basically instructions now as well on how your team will play. Center mid, box to box, holding, deep lying playmaker again, playmaker and half winger now, which once again, a lot more like real life there with the half winger thing. That's more of a thing than it used to be. Right mid and left mid, you got winger, wide midfielder, wide playmaker, and inside forward. Cam, you got shadow striker now, which I like that a lot. Winger is not really much changed. And then striker, you got advanced forward, poacher, false nine, and target forward. So you pretty much have to play the tactics that your team almost allows you to play. So your team is much more now ingrained into the tactics than they used to be, at least for the start of the game, because obviously every player has a role plus, but only certain players have role plus plus. If you scroll down here, you can see you got the base role, the role plus, which is Vinny's poacher role. He can play poacher pretty well. Inside forward, he plays, he's world class in that role. And then at CDM, he would be out of position and he would not play the role well at all. He'd be in the wrong place. He'd be all over the place. So this is where my concern kicks in a little bit here, is that it looks like whatever overpowered tactic there is next year, which usually shouldn't ever be an issue. Like usually all tactics should kind of be preferential, but as we know, the gameplay over the last 3 years has not been that way. The 4-3-2-1 has been the best formation in the game for the last 3 years, hands down. There's a reason every single pro player ends up using it. So I feel like we're gonna get to a point again next year where it might even be, how do we get it to recreate the 4-3-2-1 as much as possible? And whatever players you can buy to recreate the 4-3-2-1 will be the meta, and players might actually be more important and more almost gate kept in certain ways than before, because say, in the 4-3-2-1, you've got a center mid that's now a playmaker, right? Maybe only 2 guys in the whole game have a role plus plus of playmaker, or not deep lying, sorry, just regular playmaker. and they end up being super duper expensive, and you can't really play the 4-3-2-1 without that center mid. And then those are the best tactics in the game, and like you can't even play those tactics without having a certain player in your team per se. So your team is really tied to your tactics, which I think is in theory like kind of cool, but then also I worry that EA's implementation of it is going to suck dick. So that's kind of my my gripe with it there. They also say we will explore these components even in more detail with a later deep dive, so I'm not really sure why they're gonna have another deep dive. And that's, you know, the first component of FCIQ has 3 components: player roles, team tactics, and smart tactics. Player roles we talked about. Team tactics kind of like your formation, basically whatever formation you want to play, whether it be attacking or defending as well. And then you also got smart tactics, which is this down here, which is this right here. New real-time suggestions and D-pad functionalities make in-game tactical decision-making more accessible and intuitive than ever, and new broadcast features allow you to better experience the changes as they take effect. It says here, suggested tactics, you got park the bus, baby. Park that damn bus. The 20th minute. In the 20th minute, they go up 1-0. Suggestion number 1, park that damn bus. I can have focused defending. You can have tiki-taka there. I'm sure you can change these, but that's what his tactics are suggested to him. Yeah, so you're gonna have things like that pop up on your screen that you can switch into quickly, and it's supposed to help players be able to hold on to leads better, I'm sure. That's like the goal in their mind, is how do we help the bad players hold on to leads more, because I don't see what other reason that feature gets added into the game, to be honest with you. And here are the team tactics here. You got short passing, build-up style, defensive approach is high. You've got, you know, your line height there. You can see the formation, of course. The tactical preset is direct play. Front-footed tactics that are all about recovering possession, getting forward, and putting the ball in the back of the net. Okay. That is the point of the game. Yeah, that is. And yeah, here is that screenshot of you can change what those smart tactics look like, and it'll offer suggestions for you on the bottom, right? So that's pretty cool. And it says, once again, we will explore more in depth about FCIQ in a later deep dive. I guess we need more hypermotion V, X, Y, Z. The technology continues to evolve towards achieving new levels of authenticity and helps us refresh what's possible on the pitch. Real world volumetric data, AI mimic, aka marketing mumbo jumbo. You might as well just fucking not even read that shit. Goalkeeper playstyles now. We saw these leaked, but one of them is called footwork there. This is a goalkeeper who is known for using their feet to make difficult saves. Playstyle and playstyle plus. You got rush out once again there. You got playstyle plus rush speed is greatly increased, has a faster reaction speed to shots in rushing situations. That seems balanced, I'm sure. Deflector, which is going to deflect long shots or headers more towards safer spaces, which is I like that change. That's one of those playstyles that makes a ton of sense, because you don't want to, no one wants to score or concede rebound goals. I take that back. Anybody wants to score a rebound goal, any goal they want to score, but you don't want to concede rebound goals, and they're cheese to score. So that's one of those play styles. They're just that's kind of a cool one to have. Same with cross claimer, not really that big of a deal, and it can help in certain situations. And far reach as well, looks like it's probably you can save more long shots with. Yeah, you can extend their reach to save challenging shots. And the last one's far throw. You can basically start counterattacks with long throws. So those are the goalkeeper play styles. Okay, now we got some miscellaneous changes here. There's a lot of accuracy changes to certain parts of the attacking game. They said they made passing accuracy a lot worse. You can play this video here, and you can't nearly do any more 360 passes. See that? You could bullet that pass in FC24. I think they show a clip of FC25 somewhere down here. Oh yeah, it's right here. He does that 360 pass, and the ball just kind of goes out of play. That's much better. The 360 passes always can get nerfed to me. It's just the patch the long balls, because people switch the ball so much. That's hilarious to me, that good players I'm seeing on Twitter talk about how, oh my god, I'm so happy they're fixing the switches now. It was so OP last year. It's that's not the underlying issue. The underlying issue is the insane defensive AI. But they did nerf the long pass. It's gonna be harder now if you don't have crazy long pass stats to switch the ball up now. They added new slip animations. Now keep in mind, it's only offline. I was seeing people talk about how it's gonna be indeed more scripting opportunity, which scripting's a whole other debate, but yeah, it's gonna be just offline, where you can see these slips and stuff like that in rain and snow game modes. So yeah, they added that in, which is cool for realism, but outside of Ultimate Team, nobody wants that in their Ultimate Team, and you won't see it. So one thing I like to see though, improvements to crossing receiver targeting. Adjusted the cross receiver targeting to be more consistent and predictable. It's very hard, especially in this game, to cross to somebody that you're trying to, especially when there's 2 guys there. To try and pick out one of them to cross, it can be a shit show. So I'm happy to see them trying to work on that. And we have a shooting change, which once again they said they want to try and improve one-on-one shooting situations. Now there is a couple of conflicting statements, actually. So they're trying to make passing more nuanced, right? That's what they say right here. Remember, they're trying to make passing more nuanced, and then they do the same thing with shooting a little bit. It says the accuracy of shots will now more closely mirror the real-life abilities of players, their playstyles, and the specific situations they find themselves in during a match. Players can expect that taking shots in difficult situations will feel more challenging, with new animations added to showcase off-balance and tough angle shots. So they actually don't say anything about improving one-on-one shooting, and they just say we're trying to make it more closely mirror real life, and it doesn't say if they're trying to make it easier or harder. So I don't even know what to make of this entire like blurb or paragraph here. Help me understand this one, because it sounds like they're trying to make it a little bit worse, right? Trying to have it so that if you have worse stats, it's probably gonna be harder for you to finish than it was this year, which I'm not a fan of myself, by the way. But it does say here they have the off-balance follow-through now. New to the game, players can now trigger off-balance animations. This feature takes into account the angle and power of the shot, adding another layer of depth to shooting mechanics. Apparently, you can trigger that yourself, which is, that's an odd one. I'm not sure if that's going to work. But the shooting improvements and shooting accuracy changes, I don't understand. This paragraph to me was a whole bunch of nothing. It didn't tell me anything, to be honest with you. Hopefully, it's good. I think the only way we'll know for sure is when we get the game, right? One change I do like as well, the dribbling. The 180-degree turns did massively improve. They were very, very slow last year. The first thing people said when they picked up this game was like, holy shit, the dribbling sucks, and it's nowhere near as good as it was before. And I can kind of agree with that. You see the turns next year are way more fluid. They take a more smart touch, more realistic touch almost. And you can see on this clip, I think it's right here. Yeah, see this 180 turn right here? Like, that's way faster than last year. So left stick dribblers will like that, and it seems a little more realistic as well. I'm assuming you can't do it super fast, but it's at least a little more fluid, which I think I'm always down for myself. New first touch plus or first touch play style animations included there. Let ball run improvements, which is like when you dummy it, it'll kind of run with the ball now, which I didn't do before. And also, they removed the orbit dribble, which no one ever did it, but that was a new feature, quote unquote, added last year. They said it's time to orbit dribble. Nobody did it. Useless mechanic. It's gone to next year, because make a feature, make it sound cool, and then who gives a fuck after they get the sale? They don't give a shit. Moving on to new skill moves. When I see the new skill moves, you can see them all right here in this video. You got the big feint. I think the first two are both 2-star skill moves, I want to say. I think we have one new 5-star skill move, but the skill move didn't look amazing. That one looks good. I like that one a lot. It's almost like that cancel you used to be able to do with that one skill move. I forgot what the skill move exactly is, but step over ball. That one, I wouldn't say that one's going to be very useful, to be honest with you. What's next? Toe drag, step over. Yeah, that one isn't great either. You know, most of these ones, I would say, are not that useful, but that one over here, if we want to replay this one, stop and go. This one, I actually think it has potential. That one could be really good. I like that one a lot. What skill move is that you cancel and it looks just like that? Somebody help me in the comments, but there's a skill move you can cancel. It looks just like that. So, okay. New skill moves aren't really that interesting, though. They did add some new trickster fake shots, which might be kind of cool. But then we get the dreaded defending. And right when I saw this, I was like, okay. Yeah, they didn't really seem like there were too many attacking improvements, so I was like, hopefully there's not much here, and, well, there is. Professional fouls have been added. Who asked for this feature? Nobody. This will be patched immediately. Our first look at professional fouls here. Gotti pulling down Vinny. Surely that won't be broken. It won't cause issues. In FUT champs, when it's like 3 of those with all of your backline, all 4 of them have a yellow card. They've stopped 4 goal-scoring opportunities. Surely genius mechanic, in my opinion. Also, very strange to even implement this and then have it as like the first gameplay selling feature. I don't get that one. Maybe they just didn't want to change gameplay too much this year, which God knows they should, but that's very odd to me. And improvements to the slide tackle, shoulder challenges now are apparently better than they were before, which they were already really good. Then there was this. I was really worried about this one. Defensive positioning, because it's so bad this year with the drop back and the insane press. And don't worry, it's not what you want to hear. Improved defensive AI to recognize instances where they are about to be beaten by an attacker, dropping more centrally toward the goal. Okay, player marking inside the box, increasing defensive AI ability to zone mark inside the defensive 18-yard box, aimed at countering cutback goals. Defenders will not follow the ball carrier as precisely, but rather try to defend the cutback pass with increased effort and efficacy. Yeah, I just, it's one of those things where you're not fixing the actual stem of the problem here. You're basically painting over the cracks here, and you're not actually fixing any of the structural problems with the defense. And that is, why are cutbacks such a popular way to score a lot of the time, is because you basically can't score playing through the middle. You can't. Unless you're playing someone who sucks at defending. So I don't understand that one. Maybe the game next year just doesn't have auto press, and it doesn't have nearly as much drop back, and like they don't even need to advertise that. And then that player mark inside the box is a good feature, right? Because then maybe it'll be a thing where cutbacks would have been too good. But if you're not going to change anything else and you just make player marking now even better on cutbacks, I mean, fuck me. Can we not do this for another year, please? If we have to go through the same fucking gameplay for another year, I don't know how I'm going to do it, guys. This was my best year. I finished rank 1 10 times. I've never done that in my life. And this gameplay, I never want to have anything like it ever again. Please. I can't take it. I don't know if I'll be able to take it. Goalkeeper movement, we saw that getting nerfed. You're going to take a couple of steps in each direction. Goalkeeper rush now. There's a new different rush that they added into the game. If you tap triangle, the goalkeeper will run to the player and then kind of like close the shot angle but not dive at you. You know, if you hold triangle all the way when you're trying to rush the keeper out, it'll just kind of like dive at the ball. If you tap triangle, he's just going to run out and then stand there, which might be extremely overpowered, especially with somebody with rush out play style. In theory, you would just say, well, okay, you could just pass the ball to somebody and like have an open tapping because the keeper won't be there. But defensive AI, you know how that works. If there's a center back on the line, they might as well be a goalkeeper. They're going to block the ball. So I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm actually quite worried about next year's gameplay, but there's no way to know until we get our hands on the game, and maybe it won't be like that. Obviously, a lot of visual enhancements as well. Set pieces, they have a new corner rolls they added in, the near post, back post, target player. We talked about that a while ago. You've got free kicks now. You can take quick free kicks, which you, for some reason, was like glitched last year. Offside advantage overlay, user color advantage overlay, a lot of different ways to show advantage. Also, a visual cue appears on the pitch when you are offside as well, looks like. Extra substitutions, and there's not really much else here. Red card advantage now is a thing. Before, they just stopped advantage immediately when it was a red card offense. Now they won't, which is really nice. And then the eval engine, which is a passing graph. That is indeed one of the features in the deep dive. So yeah, last couple things. Player movement looks like they tried to improve a lot of player movement. Goalpost interactions, goalkeeper false shielding apparently is now a little bit improved the consistency wise. Simulation mode now apparently is going to be a different way to play against the CPU. It's enhanced CPU AI, wind effects, and player controlled sliders for fine tuning gameplay. Your career mode players might like that one. And that's pretty much it. I think wind effects. I mean, that's it. So I don't know. What do you think? None of these honestly sound enticing. Almost none. The dribbling maybe slightly does, with like quicker dribbling. Other than that, I didn't see anything that excited me. And I sound like I'm a generational hater right now, but nothing about this sounded like anything that I wanted to hear going into this, which is bad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course. Now, I do want to say, if you have a crazy high icon card right now, or a crazy high rated or expensive icon card that you think has any chance to be in best of batch 2, sell that bitch now, because you might lose 1 million coins today if you don't sell that card. So make sure you are out of a lot of stuff today to at least see what ends up in best of batch 2, because that is super important if you're trying to keep any of your coins right now. I've been talking for so long, and thanks for being here. If you're made it to this far in the video, thank you. So I'm gonna hurry up now and open this pack. No nothing, no reveal, no anything. I can't pack jack shit right now. That's Galazzo, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, it's Baresi, isn't it? Oh my god, man. But yeah, my pack dry streak continues. I don't know why the hell I can't pack anything. You guys see every day I open shit for the videos. I never pack anything good. What was me, I know. But hopefully you guys are packing something better than I am. I love y'all. Thanks for so. Peace.